rested on the seventh day. Allah declared this in the Quran. Your God was the one who created the heavens and the earth, and He did not feel tired. So, Allah doesn't slumber, nor does He sleep, means that Allah is never tired. Yeah, He is always active, He is always alive. Yeah. And also, now the next one is lahu ma fi samawati wa ma fil ardi. If you understand this statement, you have inner peace. Meaning, Allah, everything that is in the heavens and the earth belongs to Allah. You own nothing. You own nothing. Your life does not belong to you. It belongs to Allah. You can take it anytime you want. Your spouse's life, your children's life do not belong to you. They belong to Allah. Allah can decide to take them anytime He wants because it is His belonging. So if someone gives you something and He decides to take it from you, why should you fight? Why should you be angry that He lends you something and you fight it? This is how a Muslim sees the world. So if you lose someone that is very precious to you, don't get upset. That's why we say, we belong to Allah and to Him we shall return. Don't be upset. The money you have does not belong to you. It belongs to Allah. And that is why you cannot spend it lavishly the way you want. You have to spend it in the way that is dictated by Allah, because it's going to call you to account. It's going to call you to account. Right? Your life does not belong, your body does not belong to you. That's why you cannot do something to your body that Allah doesn't like. You cannot say, it's me, because it's my body, I'm going to give myself different mark. Allah doesn't want you to do that. It's my body, I can drink whatever I want. You cannot drink alcohol, because Allah doesn't want you to drink alcohol. Anything that can harm you, whether it is cigarette, you cannot smoke cigarette because it harms you. It is always said in advertisements, smokers are liable to die young, or smoking is dangerous to health. So if that is the case, you are not allowed, according to the principle of Sharia, to take cigarettes. Even though it is your body, but it is not your body. It belongs to Allah. You cannot do whatever you like to eat. This also means that every single living creature that you see belongs to Allah, you cannot treat them the way you want. You cannot just cut a tree for cutting sake. You just feel like you cut a tree for cutting. No. There must be a genuine reason for you to cut it. You cannot torture an animal. Why? Like whether a cat or a dog, you cannot treat them badly. Why? Because they belong to Allah. They are the creations of Allah. You cannot treat your wife badly just because you are the one protecting them. And your children, you cannot treat your children badly. Physical abuse, emotional abuse, you can't do it. You can't torture. Why? Because they belong to the creation of Allah. They are creations of Allah. So if you treat them badly, Allah is going to fight you. Allah is going to fight you. So the way a Muslim sees everything is that we are responsible for every action that we do, and Allah is going to call us to account. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is going to call us to account. So you cannot just do anything the way you like. Everything has to be done in accordance to the dictate of Allah and the dictate of Islam. That is the rule that must be followed. Now the next one says, Man the lady yashfa'u indahu illa bi'idhni. Now this is a rhetorical question. Allah says, who is it that can intercede in His presence except with His permission? Ash-shifa, intercession. Let me tell you the what do you call it? The simple meaning. Shifa, intercession means that You want to get a job, even though you are not qualified or you don't have everything that it takes, or you are competing for the same job with a lot of people, but you are able to get that job because you have a friend in that company or you have a family member in that company, and they use their influence to get to the job. This is called shifa. So this person has interceded for you. So that is the concept of shifa. So Allah says, on the day of judgment, nobody will be able to give you any form of assistance. Nobody can save you from the punishment of Allah. Nobody can beg on your behalf. Nobody can beg on your behalf. Nobody can plead to Allah on your behalf. Illa bi'idni, except with the permission of Allah. So, which means that you cannot say, I know I'm not a good person, but my husband is a very righteous person. So on the day of judgment, or my son, I made him memorize Quran. So on the day of judgment, I will ask him to plead to Allah for me. He won't be able to plead to Allah for you unless Allah gives you the permission, which means the outright command and it belongs to Allah. Allah is the one that the outright authority belongs to Allah. Allah is the one who can do and undo. That is it. So, you never rely on anyone except Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Even the Messenger of Allah who is going to intercede for us on the day of judgment, he said in the hadith that Allah, he would prostrate before Allah for a long time, and Allah is going to teach him what to say first. And he said, I will praise Allah in a way that I have never praised him before. And then when I praise him, Allah will teach me what to say. Then Allah will then say, now Muhammad, ask whatever you want to ask, and it shall be given. Intercede, and your intercession shall be granted. Allah said, how many angels do intercede in the heavens and the earth, and their intercession does not help except after the permission of Allah, and Allah is pleased. Right? So now the next statement in Ayatul Quraiy is this is also establishing the authority of Allah. The literal meaning is that Allah knows what is before them and He knows what is behind them. Meaning is that whatever has happened to you in the past, Allah knows. And everything that is going to happen to you in the future, Allah knows. Allah knows everything that's going to. So He knows who is going to enter into Jannah among us. And He knows who is going to enter into hellfire among us. And that is why we must continue to beg Him. Say, Allahumma khtim lana bi khair, waj'al awaqiba umurina ila khair. Oh Allah, let our end, let us die on goodness, and let our end be good. Let the end of our existence be good. So Allah knows what is going to happen to us in the job and what has happened to us. Allah yuhituna bi shay'in min ilmihi illa bima sha'a, and they do not comprehend anything of His knowledge except what He wishes. That is, there is nothing we can understand about Allah except what Allah decides to reveal to us. عالم الغيب فلا يظهر على غيبه أحدا إلا من ارتضى من رسوله. Allah said He is the knower of unseen, and He does not reveal His unseen to anyone. Yeah? إلا من ارتضى من رسوله, except the one that He is pleased with among His messengers. So we can never comprehend Allah, and you should not ever even think about the essence of Allah. Just contemplate on the what? Just contemplate on the creations of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah said, وَسَعَ كُرْسِيُّهُ السَّمَاوَاتِ وَالْأَرْضِ. This is the the eighth verse, the eighth statement. Allah said, His kursi extends over the heavens and the earth. I don't have time to elaborate much on this, but if you look at this word, the earth, as vast as it is, compared to the size of the sun, one estimate says that the sun is 300,000 times the size of the earth. Now, some of the stars that you see in the heavens, some of them are 1 million times the size of this earth that we are. Now, all these stars and the moon and this earth, they belong to a galaxy. And all these galaxies that we are seeing with our microscope and telescope, they are still under the first heaven. And then he said that the first heaven compared to the second heaven is like a ring in the desert. And the second heaven compared to the third heaven is like a ring in the desert. And the fourth compared to the fifth is like that. And the fifth to the sixth like that. And the sixth to the seventh is like that. And the seventh heavens compared to the kursi of Allah is like a ring in the desert. How insignificant. Now, this kursi is not even the throne of Allah. And it is said that the throne of Allah compared to his kursi, the kursi is like a ring in the desert compared to the throne of Allah. That's why Allah says, وَهُوَ الْعَرْشِ رَبُّ الْعَرْشِ الْعَظِيمِ, the Lord of the mighty throne. The Lord of the mighty throne. So Allah says, his stool, they said, our scholar that the stool is in the front of the kursi, is in the front of the throne, arsh. Allah says it extends beyond the heavens and the earth. Subhanallah. Now, وَلَا يَؤُودُهُ حِفْظُهُمَا وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَظِيمُ. Allah said, now this is why Ayatul Kursi will protect you. This is why. I said, وَلَا يَؤُودُهُ حِفْظُهُمَا وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَظِيمُ. Protecting the heavens and the earth does not tire Allah. Protecting the heavens and the earth does not make Allah to feel bored or tired. No, not possible. So it's just like Al-Hayyul Qayyum that we say in the beginning, La ta'khudhuhu sinatun wa la nawm. It's just like that. So Allah said, guarding, protecting, preserving the heavens and the earth, and whatever is between them does not tire. So when you start that, you see, you are saying, oh, Allah protect me automatically. That's what you are saying. Say, I think you are the one that can protect me. That's what you are saying. Yeah, that is why it is good for protection. One of the best ways to protect yourself is by always reciting Ayatul Kursi. And وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَظِيمُ. These are some of the most beautiful names of Allah. Allah is Ali. The Ali from Allah means the I is the most exalted. So in essence, Allah is greater than anything. In his essence. In his position, Paul called Arsh. Allah is above the seven heavens, so nothing is above Allah. So, in essence, Allah is the most exalted. Yeah, nothing is above him. Then, metaphorically, nothing goes beyond Allah. Nothing. He is the one in charge. He is the one who controls. Al-Azim is also the greatest. Nothing is greater than Allah. So if you want the utmost protection, then فَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى الْحَيِّ الَّذِي لَا يَمُوتُ. Rely upon the one who is living, who never dies. And that is Allah. And this is Tafsir of Ayatul Kursi. So how do we relate with Ayatul Kursi? Number one, as we mentioned, to get into Jannah, read it, make sure you read it after every Salah. Number two, to get protection from Allah, read it before you sleep. Number three, to protect your house from shaitan, read Surah Al-Baqarah in your house, because Surah Al-Baqarah contains Ayatul Kursi. So the whole of Ayatul Kursi and the whole of Baqarah will protect your house from jinns. And if anyone is suffering from the effect of jinn and shayateen, let him continue to recite Ayatul Kursi. If you're having a nightmare, Ayatul Kursi is one of the things that you can use to protect yourself from shaitan. Read it before you sleep. And then the message of Ayatul Kursi, make sure you implement it in your life, like we have mentioned. You don't worship any other thing except Allah. You don't seek the help of other things, any idol except Allah. You don't pray to any other thing except Allah. You don't try to please anyone except Allah. You don't spend except because of Allah. If you give because of Allah. If you withhold because of Allah. If you want to seek the pleasure of anyone, seek the pleasure of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is how to implement Ayatul Kursi in our life. And if you want to pray with the names of Allah mentioned in Ayatul Kursi. Allahumma inni as'aluka bi anna ashhadu annaka anta Allah la ilaha illa anta al-hayyul qayyum alladhi la yamut. Call upon Allah with your name, and you will see Allah is going to answer your dua by His grace. This is where we are going to stop. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it beneficial to both the speaker and the listener. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون السلام على المرسلين الحمد لله السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Jazakumullah khairan for that wonderful delivery. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it beneficial for all of us and to increase our stars in knowledge and understanding. Ustaz has given us the exegesis of Ayatul Kursi. Not only that, he also explained to us some of the benefits of these verses. It's one of the greatest verses in the glorious Quran, as it defines. It's the greatest, as rightly said. It's the greatest of the verses in the Holy Quran, as it describes the oneness of Allah, His supreme authority, and also serves as protection against shayateen. He made mention of some of the benefits you can derive from this, that if we recite these verses at every salawat, at every of our salat, then it is a gateway to enter the Jannah of Firdaus. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to make it beneficial for us and to grant us the benefit of this Ayatul Kursi. Then what is next on our agenda is to entertain questions from the audience. So if you have any question, we are in question and answer session. We can signify by raising our hands or by using the raise hand button on our Zoom to ask our question. So Bismillah, the floor is open for anyone with question.
Don't worry, people cannot ask questions. I'm going to ask them questions.
Any question? So on YouTube, then we can type the question on the chat box if you so desire to do so.
Go.
Somebody is saying Taslim, Sister Mahmuda.
Sister Mahmuda. Do you have any question? Bismillah, the floor is open. You can ask a question.
Reduce its volume, can you?
Please, let us meet ourselves if we are not asked a question, please.
Okay.
Sister Mahmuda, please.
Okay.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Wa alaikum salam wa barakatuh.
Okay, thank you for this lecture. Although my question does not relate to Ayatul Kursi, I'm so sorry, but I appreciate you giving us the exegesis of the higher, of the verse. I know how powerful it can be. It's always my lifeline when I'm traveling to my work every day. Alhamdulillah. However, my question now is, if one is on a journey and one is praying Qasri, are we allowed to also leave the nawafils too? That is with those salat, like Rakat al-Fajr, like the 4 nawafil before Zuhr and after it, or do we just do those short salah and then leave the others? I know the one for Isha is important. We have to do that one. But please explain to me. I'm not so sure. Thank you. Yes, Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi.
I actually thought that I actually thought that the question the sister was about to ask was, you said we should read Ayatul Kursi after every salah. What if I want to do Jamal if I'm traveling? Am I going to recite Ayatul Kursi? That's what I expect. I thought you were going to ask. Yeah. Regarding your question, if you are a traveler that you are shortening your salah, the sunnah is that you don't have to pay nawafil, those before go after Maghrib, including after Isha. The only thing that the Messenger of Allah will never leave, whether it's resident or is a traveler, is Raka'at al-Fajr. Raka'at al-Fajr, the 2 before Fajr, and Salatul Witr. So the 2 before Fajr and Salatul Witr, those are the 2 ones the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam never abandoned in his life, and the Sunnah is the most perfect example. So every other one, you are allowed to skip them. Those are it says. But you are going to have the reward for it anyway. Even though you are not praying those sunnah, you are going to have the reward for them, because the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam said that if a person is sick or they are on a journey, Allah will continue to reward them for all the good deeds they do while they are healthy and while they are residents. And this is one of the mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that is the response to your question, and I hope that answers your question.
Very good.
Pardon?
Now, there's another question on the chat box. The question goes thus: is it enough to recite Ayatul Kursi during obligatory prayers, being only a verse in the Quran?
No, Ayatul Kursi is not the only verse in the Quran. It's just the greatest verse in the Quran. The Quran contains about 6,000, more than 6,000 verses. So Ayatul Kursi is just the king, the leader of all these verses and the greatest of them. La salata liman lam yaqra'u fatihat al-kitab. The one who does not recite Surah Al-Fatiha does not have prayer. So every salah you need to read Surah Al-Fatiha. But if you don't know any other thing apart from Ayatul Kursi to join to it, that is welcome. You read, because of this description of Ayatul Kursi, you don't fall in love with it. You read it after your Fatiha in the first rakah, you read it in the second rakah, and you continue to read it in everything. That will never be a sin on you, and that may be the reason why Allah will take you to Jannah, just like someone used to do that for Surah Al-Ikhlas. He will read Surah Al-Ikhlas in every single salah that he prays, and he was reported to the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and the Messenger of Allah sallallahu asked him, "Why did you do that?" I said, "I do that because I love the surah, because it contains the qualities of Allah." Then the Messenger of Allah said, "Your love for the surah will take you to Jannah." So, however, it's always good. If you're always doing something just once, it will be bored. So repeating something again and again leads to it becomes monotonous. So you don't want that. We want variety so as to make your heart
That's
to
to be
concentrate
okay.
on Allah. Now, so that is it. Now, exactly. I'm going to ask because obviously there are no much questions. I'm going to ask. I'm going to ask our audience some of the questions. Now, from our discussion today, how many statements are contained in Ayatul Kursi? How many of them? How many? Will anyone answer? 10. MashaAllah. That's good. Brother Abidin, Sister Rashida, 10. Good. And now, second question. Why will Allah admit you to Jannah if you recite Ayatul Kursi after every Salah? You can use the mic. Why will Allah admit you to Jannah if you recite Ayatul Kursi after every Salah? What is the likely reason from what we discussed today? Nobody? I'm sure people were listening when I was talking. I'm sure. Why? Subhanallah. Nobody is talking. Eso wants to talk.
Because it's the greatest surah, it has Allah's attributes and it mentions Allah's quality even in the first verse, in the first part of the of the higher. And well, it's only death that can stop Allah from not granting one jannah if one recites it.
Yeah, you are right. Everything you said is correct, but does not answer my question. But anyway, who is this?
I think what you're asking is the la ilaha illallah that comes.
Yeah, because it contains la ilaha illallah. It contains the kalima. And the Messenger of Allah, sallallahu alaihi wasallam, said, whosoever says the kalima from his heart will go to Jannah. And Allah knows, but that is likely the reason why Ayatul Kursi. It means that when we are reciting Ayatul Kursi, we should be thinking about the verse. We should be thinking about the meaning of what we are reciting rather than just reciting without pondering. Because the Messenger of Allah said, reciting it from the bottom of your heart will take you to Jannah. Good question. Another thing, what is the indication? We said Ayatul Kursi will protect you from evil and shayateen. Why? Why? What is the secret in there? What's the secret? Can we remember the clue in the verse itself? What does it contain that pertains to? I don't want to give you expo now. Why? What is related? Why is reciting Ayatul Kursi? What does it have to do with protection? I'm sure I said it. I'm sure I said it. I want to be sure people listen to the lecture. Oh yeah? Nobody? Okay, I'm going to tell you the answer for this one. Allah says, Wala ya'uduhu. Somebody said, Allah gives us the clue that is awake and slumber does not overtake him. Close, but not what I want. You have towards the end of Ayatul Kursi, Allah says, وَلَا يَؤُدُهُ حِفْظُهُمَا وَهُوَ الْعَلِيُّ الْعَظِيمُ. وَلَا يَؤُدُهُ حِفْظُهُمَا. That protecting the heavens and the earth does not tire Allah. Allah is never weary of it. So reciting Ayatul Kursi is linked to Allah's protection. So, and you are part of what is in the heavens and the earth. What's that? 2 questions. Okay. Some people are asking questions on YouTube. Someone said because of Shahada, because Allah never sleep, no slumber. Any other, I can see here, but people who are looking at it. Okay, now,
Another question for you before you go. What are the greatest names of Allah mentioned in Ayatul Kursi? Understand my question very well. The greatest name of Allah mentioned in Ayatul Kursi. What are they? Okay, somebody said Allah. Allah.
Yeah, Allah.
Allah. And also Al-Hayyul Qayyum. Thank you. Al-Hayyul Qayyum. So those three words. Al-Hayyul Qayyum. Allah. Al-Hayyu Al-Qayyum. Actually, Allah, the Ayatul Kursi begins with La ilaha illallah. Allah, La ilaha illahu. That who is what represents, is just a pronoun for the Allah that is mentioned there. So, and if you look at the secret of the most powerful dua in Islam, you will find something in there. La ilaha illallah. Look at the dua of Yunus. La ilaha illa anta subhanaka inni kuntu mina dhalimin. See, you see La ilaha illallah. Somebody wanted to pray to Allah one day. He said, Allahumma inni as'aluka bi anni ashhadu annaka anta Allah al-ahad as-samad alladhi lam yalid wa lam yulad wa lam yakul lahu kufuwan ahad. So he uses La ilaha illa anta. When he said it, the Messenger of Allah said he has called upon Allah with his greatest name, with which he answered when he is called with them. When he's called with it. So another person is using Al-Hayyul Qayyum. He said he has called Allah with this. So La ilaha illallah is a very, mashallah, Allah is very, very powerful in this world. And it will also save you in the day of judgment. So I think those are my questions for you. You followed. Jazakumullah khairan kathira.
Jazakallah khairan for that exercise. It was a really fruitful and helpful exercise. Let us all imbibe the habit of reciting these verses for our benefit, so that we gain maximally from the word or from the benefit from these verses after every of our salat, and also before we go to bed. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us from shayateen and to give us the benefit from this verse. As it stands, we do not have any questions. So without any question, this is what we're going to do the cutting for today's session. Till we meet in 2 weeks' time, where we're going to discuss another important section, another topics in the life of a Muslim. So we ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect us and guide us. Let's decide one answer to round off this program. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Wal 'asr. إن الإنسان لفي خسر إلا الذين آمنوا وعملوا الصالحات وتواصوا بالصبر سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت سبحان ربك رب العزة عما يصفون وسلام على المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.
عليكم السلام ورحمة الله وبركاته.